Hey everyone, I'm Berks and this is a recap of the most important things that you missed at CitizenCon. Something to keep in mind is that Chris came on at the end and said with no promises.
So everything that we've been showing you here at CitizenCon is our intention, not making 100% promise, just so everyone remembers that, to get them into Star Citizen through next year. So it's not going to be gated on having to be after Squadron 42.
Which is lofty. Even if they manage to put 50% in, I will be over the moon. Let's get into it. First up, we have PYRO, which will be available with the replication layer to test on a new PTU called Preview. This will be available October 31st. We don't know what time yet. And you'll get in by a wave-based system based on if you were at CitizenCon, concierge status, and how active you play the PU. But I think the goal is to get everyone in eventually. They just don't want to flood it. I did get to play it at CitizenCon, and there were countless new locations, missions, and a solar flare warning, which I dodged. But my friend who did get caught in a solar flare said, my ship got distorted, so I had to get out of it. When I did, the sky went completely white. I couldn't see anything, and when it faded away, they had a tier 3 chest and head injury. Freaking sane. I'm definitely excited to get more into PYRO. Number 2, we have the Squadron 42 is now feature complete. And look at these visuals. It's completely stunning. I have a feeling this is the reason CitizenCon feels so packed, is because these features are finally being ported over. So what does feature complete mean? It means polishing and bug fixing only from here on out. No new features are going to be added to Squadron 42. The primary goal is fixing and then getting the game released. It felt like a huge moment. Chris even getting emotional at the end, saying,
kind of spent the time to craft something that's that beautiful with as much attention to detail and love without your guys' support.
After that, he said, we don't want to release a date too soon. When it's ready, you'll be the first to know. Next, we have server meshing finally getting its first ever working model. And according to Chris, they didn't even know that they can make this work until 3 weeks ago, saying it was such a big deal he cried when he saw it for the first time. And I'm not gonna lie, on the floor, I may have gotten something in my eye. What this means is that server meshing at some level is possible. 1,000 people in one spot? Maybe. 1,000 people in one shard? Potentially. It's too soon to tell, but it is working and it's a huge step for CIG. Until CIG puts more work into this, we're completely speculating. So hopefully we'll hear more next year. Everything from here on out is pretty exciting, so I'll just start with base building. And the sneak peek looks absolutely incredible. But this one does feel more than 12 months away, to be honest. They said base building and high-sec systems will be 100% safe, so that means no raiding them. But their yield will be less on resources, which is totally fair. The trade-off is if you build in a place like PYRO, it's going to be a lot more dangerous and you can be raided, but your resources are going to yield a lot more. And also, the galaxy can now make bases for some reason. Weird, but okay. They did also hint that solo and org bases may start on the ground, but there's room for more stuff above. Maybe I'm reading into this. I don't know. I talked to Morphologist about it, and he thinks space stations. I think so too. After that, we have the star map getting a fundamental top-to-bottom rework. You'll get a detailed minimap of the full map of your environment. This includes your ship, terrain outside of buildings, inside of buildings. And if you scroll out even all the way up into space, it's all one contained map. You'll also be able to sell the custom markers with data and then be rated on how good that data is when someone buys it from you. I don't even know if they're going to be able to make this stuff work, but if they do, it looks incredible. Scanning also ties into this with both improvements to ship and FPS scanning. The promise is that with FPS scanning, you can ping enemies and interesting items, loot, through walls in a short distance from you. I'm imagining depending on how powerful your scanner is. I'm a little concerned on how this will work in PvP, but it looks really cool. Ship scanning also seems like it could be a while off, but the main points they talk about is giving more info to scanning ships, being able to scan as far as quantum boost range, and to know what's there, if it's a threat, and after you scan for it, the ability to QT straight to that point of interest. I see the benefits of this paying off for bounty hunters, orgs, and pirates alike. but it's too soon to tell. This weekend, we also got a detailed look at engineering gameplay that's using the new star map technology. It looks really good, and I think this is going to turn engineering from a pipe dream to a necessity on any large ship. It really looks like this gameplay is going to be useful and rewarding. They showed off Master Modes in its latest form with a brand new HUD that looks really good, G-force reaction feedback, and restrictions on how you can fly with G-forces. But we've all seen Master Modes. The cool thing here is Precision Mode, which they showed off for the first time at CitizenCon. This allows you to engage targets from 5 to 6 kilometers away. Pretty nuts. I do think this feels like it should be a thing just for turrets or maybe big ships. I don't know. When you're in this mode, it will even lead your shots for you. And that made it kind of weird seeing it on a Gladius, but it's not like this mode's going to be helpful for dogfighting. It's more of a PvE or a fleet fight mechanic for fighting big or capital-sized ships. I think it looks really cool, and I can't wait to use it. Not only does the new QT look visually incredible, but it also adds a layer of gameplay to entering QT. That's right, and it looks so cool. It reminds me of the interdiction mechanic in Elite Dangerous, and they did confirm it's only going to be for the first 10 seconds or so you don't have to worry about staying focused for a 15-minute QT jump. Personally, I've been wanting CIG to do something like the Elite Dangerous mechanic forever, so hopefully piggybacking off of this change, they move it to interdiction as well. I think it'd be cool, it would add detail to QT and also interdiction gameplay, which, to be honest, is a bit stale at the moment. They also hinted at doing more in QT, but they didn't say much. We'll have to see what the future holds. New missions of all types that directly affect reputation in huge ways are coming. If you take missions from the UE enough times and become a known criminal bounty hunter, well, criminal orgs are not going to want to work with you. You'll have to break your own mold to access other types of gameplay. Reputation is going to matter a lot more than people are thinking. Also, raids have got to be the coolest thing I saw out of the mission demo. What's being promised is you'll need a group of a couple of people to achieve fighting NPCs, solving puzzles, fighting bosses, getting rare loot, and even having players come after you with some sort of response mission. This gives me Destiny raid vibes, and I absolutely love it. My dream in Star Citizen is to work with other people to achieve goals in game. Squeezing this in, they talked about new loot in blueprints that you can earn through rep and missions to get stuff that is only available in game. That's right. I'm talking about doing a raid and looting or getting enough reputation to earn a rare weapon, an armor set, or a ship that you cannot buy on the pledge store. This is theoretical TM, soon TM, I held the line TM, and we're really getting into speculation territory, but I like where CIG's head's at on this one. We need in-game progression, and this is a great first step. Next, the new interaction system actually looks so fun. And it uses context to your environment, so you don't have the current clutter of inner thought. Up next, the new inventory system is designed around fast combat looting. It finally looks up to speed for a quadruple A game, and the current inventory system is extremely meh. And the functionality in combat is even worse. As someone who does a lot of FPS, I am extremely pumped for this. I'm excited to see how combat looting and inventory works together, because it does seem like those are two different menus. CIG really said, oh, some of you guys want realistic audio, some of you want simulated, let's do both. And take a listen to this. This is the new realistic audio option, and you'll be able to toggle it on and off whenever you want. The only concern from the devs might be balancing this for PvP. My thought is this: balance for the default, which is simulated audio. That's what we have now. And let people who want realistic audio take a little bit of a hit for balance so we can have both realistically. We did see a lot of updates on several ships, including the Polaris, the Cutter Scout, and the new RSI Zeus concept, which I'm calling the Cuddy Killer. I can feel people's wallets trembling after that one, because it looks insane. They did show the Banu Merchantman as well, but it doesn't look like it's made any progress from last fall since the team working on it left. The interest was also confirmed to be releasing alongside Squadron 42, with the Vandal ships also getting an update with the release. Character customization is seeing a serious upgrade, with a ton of new models, faces, hairstyles, and the UI in general looking much better than it does now. Custom geometry for things like ears, eyes, and noses, and along with that, confirmation from CIG you will finally be able to save and even share the models made with it. Did someone say clone army? Because this is how you get a clone army. Wrapping up here, there's so many small things I missed, which are kind of big things too, like destructible terrain they're working on, which will probably be only partial destruction on things like buildings and environments, but still really cool. New water physics, a small preview of animals, new outposts that are going to take place on the water. We saw a boat, stealth and bounty hunting seeing a serious improvement, and much more I probably missed. If you need more info, I would seriously encourage you to go watch the panels yourself. They are amazing this year and totally worth your time. You can really tell CIG put a lot of love into this one. That being said, I am skeptical that CIG can deliver all of this, just a massive amount of content, in the next 15 months before Q4 next year. I will be over the moon if they can deliver even half of it. But a lot of this stuff is coming in 322. And even sooner, the 31st, we're getting PYRO. These are all great signs in the right direction, and clearly, CIG is listening to us when we say we want stuff sooner and we want results. I'll see you 12 months from now to see if that's real. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know in the comments what you think. This is Berks, signing off.